Hey there, welcome to WTMK Live, your holistic health and unconventional foodie destination. No soup for you. What? That's what we're going to talk about in today's show. So my name is Colette Wydeck. I am a certified integrative nutrition health coach, and I am super passionate about helping people who are sick and tired of struggling with trying to control their blood sugars, lower their cholesterol, and release the weight. So how many of you, especially those of you who are diabetic or are struggling with your blood sugars, have been told that you can't have soup because you don't want to be eating beans because they are high in carbs? Nonsense. Today's recipe is going to take all of that away for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So our soup today is lentil soup, and we absolutely love lentil soup. And lentils, as it turns out, are super high in protein and fiber, and it's a soluble, yeah, I can speak. It's a soluble fiber, which means that when it gets into your colon and your digestive system, what it does is it slows down your whole digestive process, which slows down the release of the glucose into your bloodstream. So that's what makes it to help it to regulate your blood sugars. Plus it's loaded with protein. So let's get busy and get started, because the soup is going to take just a little bit of time. So what we're going to do first, adjust my camera here, get rid of my phone, don't need that, is we're going to start off with, well, let me put some oil in my pot here and get it started to heat up a little bit here first. That's the first thing. I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil, of course. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just take these carrots. I've already peeled them. I'm just going to dice these up. Soup pot. And soup is a super healthy thing for you to have. Now, of course, absolutely, it depends on the ingredients that you use in your soup. So you don't want to be loading it up with a bunch of pasta and stuff, because that will, that's going to defeat your purpose. But this lentil soup, in the past, I normally used to put a little bit of ditalini pasta in my soup, which I love. However, when you're trying to control your carbs and you don't want to be eating a bunch of, processed carbs, which pasta is a processed carb, you just have to learn how to make some healthy substitutions. So instead of using pasta, we're going to put in a little bit of barley, which is a really good whole grain. And here again, it's going to give you some nice fiber, lots of really good nutrients. And so that's that. So got these carrots all ready to go. Just set them off to the side here a little bit, because I don't think that oil is heated up yet. So we'll just chop the onion next. And oh my goodness, I have a whole bunch of people in here. Hello, everyone. Linda, Mandy, Audrey, Ellen. Hey, guys. I'm so glad. And Danita, I'm so glad you guys all joined me today. And for those of you on the replay, welcome in. Make sure you type in the comments there where you're coming in from. And if you are new to my broadcast, if this is the first time that you've tuned in, please put new in the comments so I can say a special hello to you, because I love to connect with my viewers. So, sorry if this takes me a little while. I am no chef. I need my girl Ellen over here to help me out with my knife skills, because I'm definitely not a chef. I'm just a home kitchen cook, just like all the rest of you. So I'm just going to give this a nice little dice here. Nothing really fancy. Just going to get it diced up nice. I think we can get one more slice out of that. What do you think? Yeah, there we go. All right, there's half of it. Let's get the other half going here. And soup actually really comes together fast. And lentils do take a while to cook. However, I've got the big secret for you, and that is, just like any other bean that you're going to cook from dry, they should be soaked. So what I did was I took 1 cup of dry lentils and I put them in a big 4-cup measuring cup of yesterday, and I put, see how many lentils 1 cup of dry lentils makes. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, sounds like our pot's going around here pretty good. Well, it's not too hot yet, but we're going to go ahead and go with it. Let's see. Can you all see my pot there pretty good? Get these onions put in. Oh, yeah. We're simmering up there nice. And, whoop, I got a skin there. I don't want that in there. And then we're going to add the carrots. And the secret to cooking, you need to also monitor your sodium intake. The secret is not to use salt. The secret is really, actually, to salt as you go, because when you cook with salt, it changes its composition somehow in the way that it reacts in your body. So if you just use a little bit, you don't need much. This is, I don't know, maybe like 1/4 of a teaspoon or less, actually. And just put some nice fresh cracked pepper in there. Oh, this is smelling good already. I love the way that onions smell when they're cooking. How about you? Oh, let's see who we got here. Ooh, my big fat face in the camera here. Yeah, Linda, you do need to watch your salt, but it is okay to use just a tiny bit while you're cooking. Nothing at the table for sure, because when you use, especially when you're using like regular iodized salt, that's really what's not good. So while this is simmering in there, I'm going to put in a little bit of red pepper flakes and just give this a little bit of a kick. And I like to put them in at the very beginning, because then they get all nice and toasty, and they spread a nice flavor in with the veggies as they're cooking. And you could also actually put some celery in here, but I think I'd prefer not to have celery in here. It's not on the recipe, so that's okay. So speaking of the lentils, you see this huge colander full of, that's a whole lot more than 1 cup of beans, wouldn't you say? But that's all I used was 1 cup of lentils that were dry from the package, and soaked them overnight, and look what happened. And the same thing, I don't know if you can see through the cup here. I haven't rinsed them yet, but if you can see, I put 1/4, and I forgot to actually do it last night, and you can see already it's only been soaking for about, maybe about an hour, and you can see how much in volume it has grown just because it's soaked. So what happens when you soak your beans and your whole grains, what it does is it takes away the anti-nutrients that are in those beans, and so you get the great nutrition. It allows all of that nutrition to be absorbed into your body. So I'm just going to drain out the water here from the barley. And I do need to go rinse it, so I'm going to have to take my microphone off here for just 1 second. I'll be right with you. We're good to go. So now you can see that these onions here are nice, getting nice and translucent, and that's exactly what you want to see. It usually takes about 5 minutes to get that action going on. And now we're going to start adding in some of the good stuff. First thing we're going to add in is I've got 2 cans. The recipe calls for 28 ounces, so that's like 1 large can, but I didn't have any large cans of diced tomatoes, so we're just going to use 2 small cans. And the thing with diced tomatoes, buying them canned, you want to try to get ones that say no salt added, because that's something else that they tend to do with all canned foods is they add lots of salt to them. So that would be my only recommendation as far as tomatoes are concerned, is to buy ones that have no salt added. So there we got 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Looking good, huh? Well, hey, Ann. Hi, BJ. That's a lot of beans. Yeah, it is a lot of beans, Ellen. But here's the thing. When you make this soup, on the recipe, it says that it has, well, let me just look at the recipe because I forget. Let's see. The nutrition facts. Carbohydrates, total carbohydrates in a serving. However, you have to remember that you take away the amount of fiber that's in the beans. So the fiber that's in 1 serving is 19 grams of fiber. That's a lot of fiber. So when you take that and subtract it, you see you're only down into now like 30. So if you're trying to stick to, stay in like 30 grams of carbs per meal, this lentil soup is still going to put you right in there in line with that. So how cool is that, right? Now you can have soup. And I've seen a lot of people saying how they're going to miss having chili this fall. There is absolutely no reason to not have chili. You just want to make sure that you don't put, sugar or anything in there with it. So to this, I added 4 cups of, it's actually my own homemade beef broth. And I got a couple of cups of water here. And I got, what is this? 2 teaspoons of cumin. And cumin is another spice that's super healthy. And this is 1 teaspoon of curry powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme. And we're just going to, oh my goodness, it smells so amazing in here. Oh, you know what I forgot to add in? I forgot to add in the garlics. Can't forget garlic, especially since garlic is so super healthy for you. And so is onions, actually. And onions and garlic are two food items that are super good for diabetics because of the allicin that's in them. Allium, I forget what it's called. But anyway, super good for you. So let's just dice up this garlic here, and we'll just go right ahead and put it in. Doesn't matter. It would have been good if we'd added it in when we were sauteing the carrots and the onion, but it's okay. We'll just deal with it. So this recipe is, it's not quite up on my website. Well, it's actually, you could go and look at it, but I didn't write any prettiness to it yet. But it will be up later this afternoon. As soon as we get done here, because the reason it's not is because I can't believe I haven't done this. As much as we love soup, and I make soup all the time in the wintertime. It's like one of Richie's favorite things. And that's what I used to do for him. I would make him soup, and he would take it in a thermos and have it, for his lunch at like 2:00 in the morning. So, and that was super good. It's in the wintertime because, it's cold at night. Richie was a first-class mechanic, and he worked night shift. So, but yeah, we love soup. So what I did was, and here's another really cool trick. you can make soup for like 1 week, just make a different soup every night, and then you just divvy it up into dishes, and then you put it in the freezer, and then you've got soup for weeks. That's what I used to do for him. I would make, one night I'd make chili, one night I'd make beef minestrone, one night I'd make lentil, one night I'd make white bean with kale and sausage, and he'd have a different soup every night, but I didn't have to make them every night. All I had to do was warm it up in the pot, stick it in his thermos, and he was good to go. So that's another really great tip for you as far as meal planning is concerned, because then you can just make, take 1 week, make a whole bunch of different soups, stick them in the freezer, you got yourself covered for weeks. All right, so let's just dump this right in the pot. All right, let's check this out. How good does this look, right? Oh, it's absolutely smelling so good. We definitely need to figure out how to invent smell-o-vision for sure. So this is going to have to cook now for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then then you're going to just check it and see. We're not gonna hang out here that whole time, but you want to just check it and see after about 20 minutes or so. And let's see, let me get my tablet here. My laptop is all the way over on my counter there, so I'm having a hard time seeing all of your comments. So let's get over there, shall we? Let's see what's happening. See if I can see some of your comments. I would love that. I love that you guys all joined me today. This is wonderful. So who else likes soup? You guys like soup? Tell me. You guys all joined me today. This is wonderful. Now let's turn the volume down, shall we? Here we go. Yeah, I used 4 cloves of garlic, Linda. So yeah, you can, whatever it is whatever you like is good. Let's see. My tablet is frozen or something. Oh, yay. Hey, Terry. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being in here today. I think this is your first time, isn't it? So awesome. So let's see here. My comments. Yes, I saw what you made the other night, Ellen, and it looked amazing. However, how cool is it now that you know that you can add some beans in with that and give yourself some protein in with your meal? Because protein, especially if you are trying to control your blood sugars, is super important to have with your meals. So how great is it that you can add some beans in there, get some great protein, and still have a really healthy soup. Let's see what else is going on here. Thing is, some of us get the runs. You get the runs from eating beans? I don't know why that would be, Linda. Unless you're getting too much fiber. But here's another thing about fiber. If you are not used to eating a high fiber diet and you start to add in fiber, in the beginning, you can have a little bit of diarrhea with that, because what's happening is your body is kind of actually doing a cleanse, because that's what fiber does. Your fiber cleanses your digestive system and gets rid of all the toxins, and that reduces the load on your liver so that everything can work better. So that's why it's so important to get, plenty of fiber in your diet. And we should be eating between 25 and 40 grams of fiber every single day. And when you do that, that will help, because, it's your liver that's responsible for, cleaning your whole system. But if you don't have the right nutrients that are going into your system and you're not helping your liver by detoxing your colon by using, eating a high fiber diet, what happens is everything backs up in your liver, and your liver can't handle all of that stuff that's going on. So, and, toxins are from everything, the air we breathe, so the things we eat, some of the products that we use on our bodies, in our households. So all your liver is responsible for getting rid of all that stuff. So that's why a high fiber diet is so super important. So let's see there you go. Oh, Linda, we're going to have to talk about that, sweetheart, because that's not good, and we need to figure out why, and we need to help. I need to be able to help you with that, because you shouldn't be having diarrhea all the time. So we need to talk about that. So anyway, I guess let's just take another little peek here at our pot, see what's going on. See, it's not quite yet up to even simmering yet, but you can see, like, look how delicious that's going to be. So what you do is you let this cook for about 20 minutes, and then you take like 2 cups of it out of the pot, and you put it in like a blender. Or if you don't have a blender, you could use like a potato masher, or even a fork. You could put it in a bowl and use a fork to smash it up and get it all smashed up, and then put it all back in there, and that will help even to make it even heartier and thicker and more satisfying. So that is the whole gist and the whole recipe for the soup. And oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. And I want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a special live version of WTMK tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here on my wall, because I've been doing in my group, I've been doing a 4-day Tame Your Sugar Cravings challenge in my group. And tomorrow, this is our 4th day, and we've had an amazing time. And I've got some awesome people who have been participating with me. And I think we've had a whole lot of fun. I think we've learned an awful lot. And I'm just super excited about the whole thing, and everyone that I've met. It's just been a wonderful experience, and I've absolutely loved it. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing a special live presentation right here on my page, and we're going to make something extra super special, because I want to give my participants something extra special to help them out with their sugar cravings in a healthy way. And it's going to be really exciting. And I'm also going to have a super exciting announcement to make tomorrow night at the close of the show. Plus, I'm going to be able to announce the winners, because I'm giving prizes away on my sugar challenge. So I'm going to be announcing the winners tomorrow night. So you're going to all want to tune in tomorrow night right here on my page at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So until then, you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please make sure you put them in the comments. I will make sure that I get back to you tomorrow night right here in my kitchen. Bye-bye.